welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I am glad you are here. Today, we are going to talk about 5 books, and particularly we're going to look at 5 kick-ass, 5 badass, 5 awesome women who have kind of stolen the show in the books. And so I picked 5 books that I love that cross all genres, that cross kind of all the things. And we're going to look at 5 women that are kind of my favorite, like, kick-ass, badass women. And so I'm really excited about this because it took me a second to think about, like, if I only had to pick 5, who would I pick? And I had to go through all of my books, and I really had to sit down and narrow it down to, like, my 5 baddies, my 5 favorites, my 5 who would I pick. And it took me a long time to figure out this top list, and I had a bunch of contenders in this list. So this was hard for me. I'm gonna start with an oldie goodie goodie. I had to dig this book out. This is my OG, I don't even have the dust cover anymore, don't know where it is, original Sorcerer of the Stone Harry Potter book. It actually has, I don't know if you can see it, I'm gonna cover it here, but like my sister and mine's original handwriting in it. It is falling apart. It's been read so many times. And if we're looking at Harry Potter, you best be known we're talking about Hermione Granger and what a kick-ass baddie that girl is. She was the original OG badass girl. Like, I wanted to be her. I was her. I remember, like, going to see the movies. I remember reading the books for the first time and wanting to be as smart and as intelligent and as brave and as kind and as good as she was. She was the ultimate, like, character that I wanted to be. And I remember reading these books when I was in elementary school, and reading these books. My dad would read these books to me when I was falling asleep at night, and just thinking about, like, if I could be her, if I could be as smart as her, if I could be as good as her, if I could be as brave as her, I would have, like, reached nirvana. Just as a child, she was the ultimate girl to be. And she was like my ultimate girl role model. And I just think about how books can really do that, right? Books have the ability to just make characters come alive to us. And when the movies came out, just how she just was the, like, most beautiful, she was the most smart. And as she just got more and more, like, they are right here. I have all of them. I have my original ones. My grandma bought me the books as I grew up, and they all are signed by my grandma, and they're all, like, it's a big deal. Harry Potter was, like, the first books that I really got into. So Hermione being, like, the original girl that I fell in love with in literature, she had to be the first one that I picked for this list, and we had to pull out my original copy of Harry Potter for this. Then the next one that I pick, we're just gonna kind of go in order, again, going back to, was Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games. Again, that same kind of concept. Katniss was brave. Katniss was strong. Katniss was the type of girl that when I read these books when I was in college, actually, I was a little bit older than a lot of people that were reading these books. I remember thinking, she loves her sister so much. I love my sister so much. Just the connections that I made. I wept when I read these books because I remember thinking about the sacrifices that Katniss had to make for her family, and how much I love my sister and how much she loved her sister. And just, I remember calling my sister and being like, I love you, and bawling, and just being so connected to Katniss as a character, and just being the power that this book drove in me to be a better sister, to be a stronger woman, to stand up for what I believed in, to have that, like, that drive. And Katniss was part of that resoluteness in me to have that drive, right? Like, characters can have that power over us. And still to this day, I look at Katniss as part of that. Like, I want to be like Katniss. I want to be strong. I want to be brave. I want to fight for what's right. I want to know that when something is wrong, that I have the power to stand up and use my voice like Katniss did. And I think that Katniss deserves to be on this list very much so. Kind of going to something more contemporary, I have officially now finished the Addicted Calloway Sister series. It's been on my list to finish forever, so we'll see that in my wrap up here for the end of this month. And my favorite sister from that series is Rose. Again, with the loving your sister, Rose is my favorite from the series. And she's in all of the books. She's from Addicted all the way through, but this is her book. Her first book with the POV is Kiss the Sky. And we really get to see, excuse me, we really get to see her points of view on everything when we get to her book, which is this one. And she, again, is a character who loves her sisters and would do anything. Throughout the books, Daisy calls her and Reich and Lo the hot-headed triad, because the three of them will literally go off and do anything and be so volatile for what they believe in and what they fight in. And often Rose, that's her sisters. And often Rose, that's like things that mean the most to her. She's smart. She's witty. She's funny. She's powerful. She runs her own company. She is strong down to her bones. She overcomes so much in the story. She overcomes her own fears. She overcomes her own anxiety. She overcomes her own need to be loved, her own need to have confidence in who she is. She overcomes her own, I wouldn't call it addictions, because the point of the series is that we're seeing Lily and Lo overcoming their addictions, but even at times we see her overcoming her OCD, which is a form of addiction. We see her overcoming her needs to seek others' approvals. We see so much of Rose, and as an older sister, I relate to Rose. I really relate to Rose. I really understand what it's like to want the best for your sisters and your sister. I only have one younger sister, but to want the best for them at all times and to literally fight other people for the best for them. I can think about like my sister and her wedding day, and my sister and other main events in her life, and how I will literally and have literally gotten people's faces and been like, no, you're not gonna screw things up for my sister, get out of the way. Or I have literally been like, you don't mess with me, the claws will come out. Like fighting for what I believe in. And Rose runs an empire. She runs the Calloway Couture empire, and her fight for that throughout the whole series is amazing. And her relationship with Connor, Connor Cobalt is one of my top 5 favorite book boyfriends of all time. People will fight me on that all the time. They'll be like, no, Lo, no, right. No, Connor Cobalt, hard stop. Connor Cobalt, hard stop. I love me some Connor Cobalt. He is the man. And, I love me some Connor Cobalt. I just do. And, her and Connor's relationship is magic. Like, if you haven't read this series, it's 10 books. It's a long commitment. But it is a good commitment. And you should really read the Addicted and Calloway Sister series and read about Rose. Continuing in that vein, I have also picked Greer from the New Camelot series. If you've been around my channel at all for any length of time, you know that I am obsessed. I literally have a video, I will link it somewhere up in here, showing how an ultimate guide to this series, because I love this series so much. And I picked Greer. And because Greer is the glue that holds that whole series together. There's literally a scene in the second book where Embry looks over at Greer and he thinks what a fierce, intelligent, strong woman she is, because she's looking down the barrel of like a metaphorical gun of the paparazzi coming at her and accusing her of all these different things, and the press accusing her of sleeping with Embry when, spoiler alert, she was sleeping with Embry, and, you know, calling her all these horrible things, and she's doing it with this straight face, and she's being fierce, and she's being all these things, and she's so smart, and she's so, her intelligence is off the freaking charts in this book. But at the same time, she knows how to play the system. That's something that's so important about those books, is she knows the system. She knows the political system so well that both Ash and Embry need her and depend on her to play the system, to play the game. They look to her to play the game because she's integral to that for both of them at different points in different things. Like Ash will turn to her and be like, I can't do this without you. I need you to do this with me. It's invaluable. But yet at the same time, she has this ability to turn off all of that and turn into this perfect submissive for Ash, and to be the perfect love for Embry that they need. She knows how to, she's just like perfect. And I love her. I'm stammering because I love her. I love that whole series. You like talk to the wall. If you will not convince me not to love that series. But why she's fierce, she's smart, she's kind, she's good, she's intelligent, she knows how to work the system, but yet she constantly finds time to be what the others need from her and of her, but not letting it consume her to the point where she can't function without being who she is. And I love that. She will stand up for herself too, and she will stand up within things. And in her inner dialogue, you'll hear her talking about her limits and talking about where she finds the line and what she needs and how she needs certain things. And I love that about her is even in some of the darkest scene in that series, she talks about why she needs what she needs and how she's defending why she needs it. And I feel like having someone who can defend what they need and why they need it is a definition of a very badass, intelligent woman. Like, I need this and here's why I need it, and I need you to do this for me right now. Like, is so fierce. And she is so fierce. And a lot of people will say, oh no, she's not integral to the series. You will go and read so many blogs about like, it's not a series about her, it's just about them. You can talk to the wall. You can like get out. She is integral. She is vital. She is fierce. She is the key to the whole thing. And if you don't believe me, go read the series and come back and let's have a conversation about it. And then the last one that I picked is kind of an obvious one, but I think it's like, I picked Violet from Fourth Wing. It's an opinion that I very much love. Violet is overcome so much in the series. We see her journey from weak to strong. We see her adapt, and we know that things are going to happen in the next book. I'm very obsessed with this series. So is my husband. We are constantly talking about what's going to happen in Onyx Storm, constantly sending each other theories, constantly being updated on it. But we see Violet's journey from very weak, very unsure to strong, fierce, kick-ass. Nothing can get in her way. And I'm very much think that we're going to see even more of that develop in the next book. I think we're going to see her become even more independent and even more strong in herself, because at the end of the last book, so not to give too much away, we see that she still is dependent a little bit on Xaden, a lot of it on Xaden. And I think we're going to see in the next book that she blooms and blossoms into even more of a kick-ass, badass, can do it on my own. If you've been paying any attention to what Rebecca Yarros has been posting, she's a huge Swiftie, and a lot of the songs that she's been posting have been from the Rep album era, and those are a lot of like can do it on my own, kick-ass, badass woman songs. And so I think we're gonna see Violet really come into her own in Onyx Storm and come into this like self of like grounded, and I am strong, I am able to do this, I can be this thing, I don't need anybody to do this for me, I don't need Mira, I don't need Xaden, I don't need Dane, I am capable, I am the greatest writer of my generation, I am fierce. And I'm so excited to go on that journey with her, and I'm so excited to see where Rebecca takes Violet as we continue on this journey, because she is definitely a fierce baddie. So those are the fierce baddies that I have picked. Leave a comment below if you've got other fierce baddies that you want to share, or if you can think of someone that you definitely are like, oh, Kelsey, you totally missed this one, because I want to read, I want to share, I want to hear what you have to say. Let's leave some comments and talk in the comments below. Until next time, friends, bye-bye.